Oh, almost.
Pretty close.
Almost.
The old lefty.
Oh.
See the free throw skills right here. David Montgomery.
Oh.
Let's check the free throw skills. Oh, the double bounce.
Okay, we'll give him one more shot.
Oh, he hit the rim.
I got one
Bringing
shot.
you in for a celeb shot. For a celeb shot. Let's go. Let me roll on this in case you nail it. Okay. All right, go ahead. They're rolling on it. Oh, let's go! Oh, let's go!
Easy money.
Easy money.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. It is Thursday here on Radio Row for Super Bowl 60, and the place is an electric factory right now. We've had a ton of great interviews already.
Yep.
Plenty more joining us during the show. Fantasy royalty all around this place right now, Matthew.
It's been an incredible day of interviews. The whole week, honestly, has been amazing. And you know what's great is that the people that have come on the show they understand the assignment, which is like, I've been doing this for a while, obviously, and previously it was tough to get people, or if they came on, you couldn't ask them directly about fantasy football. You had to sort of, weave around and pretend that you weren't what you were, kind of thing. And like this one, everyone has come on. They not only understand fantasy football, they appreciate it. They're into it. They're grateful to the fans. Luckily, we've gotten all good players.
Yeah.
It's easier to. But it's been great to see how they've just embraced it. Everyone has.
And it's been running backs galore on this show going around here. Superstar running backs. Let's take a look at those running back leaders, of course, from this year. You're gonna hear a bunch of them on this show. Matthew and I just sat down with Bijan Robinson. We're gonna have DeAndre Swift come by. But let's get right into one that you guys did yesterday that was absolutely awesome in Christian McCaffrey.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour set. Jay Croucher, Matthew Berry, along with San Francisco 49ers running back and fantasy football legend, Christian McCaffrey. Christian, so many people I'm sure say to you, I always believed in you, and and I believed you'd have a good year this year. But we actually did, and we have proof. Watch this. So I'm just going to say CMC is healthy. I have him at running back 4 this week, but there's a very real possibility that he ends the week as the #1 running back in fantasy, and then he gets back out there and reminds everyone, oh yeah, he's that dude. So I'm in on CMC this year. There you go. So, by the way, that was preseason. Thank you much.
Yeah,
by the way, thank you for making me look smart. I very much appreciate that.
A very bold take that Christian McCaffrey was going to have a good year. Well done by you, Matthew. I think the thing, Christian, that everyone was worried about was just coming off the injury last year. Now you lead the NFL in touches. What were you able to do in the offseason to prepare your body for that type of load?
Yeah, well, it was obviously, didn't end the season that I wanted last year. And, I knew I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do. And, got with a great group of guys, great group of trainers who, I trusted them completely. Went and did everything I could to come back to being myself. And, I remember even my trainer telling me, look, this is going to be a long off season. Long days. There was a lot I had to fix, a lot I had to get going. And, just trusted the plan, committed to it, and it worked out. And look, you can do everything right, and it still goes wrong. So that's football, that's the NFL, and I was fortunate enough and feel very blessed to be able to play in every game this year, and looking and excited to do the same for next year.
Yeah. I know some of the training you did was with Bijan Robinson. I'm curious, when you have those sessions with Bijan, when you train, is it a complete open book, or are you keeping any secrets, or how does that work?
No, with somebody like that, man, you just have to watch. You literally just watch. You see not just how he trains and how gifted he is, but the way he carries himself. It's no shock why he's had the success he's had. But it turned out, it started being something, hey man, I'd love to get some work in, and we had mutual respect for each other and had talked in the past. I'd love to get work in and, maybe pick your brain a little bit. It just turned into a great friendship, and somebody that I kept in touch with the whole season. We'll do it again this year, and again, just became a really good friend.
As you head into this offseason, Christian, is the mindset different? So last year, obviously, you're coming off a serious injury, you're getting ready for the season, but now, after another massive workload, you've now led the NFL in touches 2 of the last 3 seasons. Is the mindset different, or is it more the same because obviously it worked so well last offseason?
Yeah, conceptually it's the same. It's building the foundation the entire offseason to withstand the storm of the season, and that's really what it is, and that's mind, body, and spirit. That's in all ways just kind of taking care of anything that happened during the season, getting your body back to full speed, and then continuing to move. It's really a nonstop job. You take too much time off, it can be detrimental, and so you're kind of right back to it. Obviously, you don't go extremely hard right away, but I always say motion is lotion, so staying active, staying moving, keeping my body in the best shape, and just trusting my training.
Yeah, Matthew Berry uses that same speech to himself often. Motion is very much lotion. You had one of the greatest receiving seasons of all time for running back. Obviously, the Niners, your receivers are banged up all year. Is there a conversation with the coaching staff at some point earlier in the year where there was the discussion that you need to be our #1 receiver effectively, or was that just something that evolved naturally over the course?
I don't think anyone ever has a conversation with a coach about being the #1 receiver, and it's more of, hey, what's happening in the game, where do we have matchup issues, or where do we have matchup advantages, and go from there. I think a lot of times too, we have such a great team in the sense that it's very complementary football. So if a guy like George Kittle's on the field and I'm on the field, he takes so much weight off me. Because you have to account for him, which leaves me open, and when you have quarterbacks who can push the ball downfield as good as anybody, but also know when to check it down, and one of my abilities is just being good in space, being able to find zones, sit in them, and beat man coverage on choice routes, like that can be really effective, and it's something for me that I try to take advantage of. I've always prided myself on being a complete back, and not just running the ball, but also being able to not just line up out that receiver and run receiver routes, but to do it really well. I try to do that. I train like that in the off season so that whatever position I'm asked to be in, I can be effective.
Speaking of George, friend of the show, we've had him on the show multiple times. We love George Kittle here. Awful injury that we saw. The story came out that when he was in the locker room after the injury, he asked for a bottle of tequila. Jed York brought him a bottle of tequila. Can you confirm this story? Is this
Yeah, I can confirm it. I wish everybody had a George Kittle in their life.
Yeah.
And I mean that. He provides a perspective on life that I think everybody needs. We went golfing in Cabo a few days after the last game, and he's out there fresh off a surgery in a boot, bought a robotic golf club that hits the ball. He sets his distances.
I saw that on Instagram.
And he's just having a blast, man. And it's such a good perspective to have. Here's one of the best players in football, who just has the greatest joy for life. And when you have someone like that, has a terrible injury happen, and has a bottle of tequila in the locker room with the owner after. Man, that's George, man. It's genuine. It's so fun to be around, and he's just the best teammate and an unbelievable friend.
Okay. Well, from bottle of tequila to can of Olipop, can you tell us about your partnership with Olipop that you just cracked open?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's an easy partnership because I have these all the time, and I've been bugging my agents. Man, we got to get an Olipop deal because I love these things. But it's, as somebody who's very health conscious, I pride myself in taking care of myself, and Olipop is the perfect partnership because it's a soda you can feel good about drinking. End of the day, long day training, you want a treat, it's the best treat. It's low in sugar, high in fiber. It's a prebiotic. It's obviously good for your gut, and just tastes incredible. Sometimes you get these drinks that they're healthy and they taste healthy. These taste like soda, and it's funny. Everybody that I've had interviews with has been super excited about trying them. So you guys definitely got to try them at some point. It's a fantastic drink.
We absolutely will. Believe me, I'll absolutely try it. In the meantime, while we're doing this, I don't know if you saw this, but earlier this week, your coach, Kyle Shanahan, was at a press event. I don't know if you've seen this clip or not, but here's the clip right here. So there's Roger Goodell. He throws a little football. There's Andrew Luck. He throws football a little bit further. But then your coach decides, it's like, go long. Go long. He's pointing.
Yep.
It breaks the TV. Doesn't come anywhere close.
Yep. And he's
also,
happy about it.
He's not embarrassed about it at all, which is the real takeaway from that video for me.
Yeah. No. He completely owns it.
Yeah.
I think when you're in meetings and you hear how he coaches Brock, you know, a lot of F-bombs, so I won't repeat all of them. You know, he loves when you just rip it.
Yeah.
You know, he loves when you play with confidence. You see his smile after that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's pumped up. He's like, yeah, that's how you throw a football. He didn't care. That's Kyle.
He did. Brock should have that video on, you know, next time he throws a pick, he needs to be like, listen.
He doesn't care. Hey, if you throw a pick, but you're decisive and you rip it, on to the next one, man. But I love the you know, mentality.
Yeah. Last one.
It's good to see he practices what he preaches.
Last one I got for you, Christian. A lot of dancing from Brock Purdy this year. Felt like his personality really came out this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's always been like that. You know, obviously sometimes in public it's a little different, but it was really cool to see his personality come out. You know, he's a serious guy, an intense guy, but he's extremely fun too. And, you know, we had a blast this year. Obviously, it didn't always go the way we wanted to, and we lost some key guys. But we had a lot of fun playing football, man. And you know what? It was a group that brought the personality out in you. I think a lot of times that's a testament to the kind of team we had, where we were all so loose together, man. Everything was fun. It was time to be serious. We were serious, but we had a blast together, and just approached the season with a real love for each other and a real love for football. It was fun to be a part of.
I thought Kyle did an unbelievable job this year. I mean, he's always been one of the best coaches in the NFL, but this year especially, given all the injuries and having to, you know, start multiple quarterbacks throughout the year, and, you know, I thought Kyle did an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
Christian, last thing for you here. So our show is called Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So when we're not on Radio Row, we shoot our show in a bar. We do a lot of bar games and everything like that. And I was wondering if I'm sure you've never played beer pong in your life, but
I've only done it with Ollie Pop.
We have understood. So Ollie Pop Pong. But we'd love for you to. So we're calling you in for a celebrity pong shot here. We've asked all of our guests to take a shot. No one has hit it yet. No. You stand up like you would like at a normal beer pong here. Move this out of here. We'll get this.
The elbows.
Yep. See the technique, the CMC technique.
That counts. You got a bunch of balls in there. That
guys are sabotaging the show, man.
That absolutely counts. There you go. That's
man. Bring me back to the college days.
Yeah, well done.
Well, you're the first one to hit it as well.
That's good to hear.
We were over for 6 or 7 before that.
Superstar for the 49ers, superstar in fantasy football now, superstar in beer pong. Is there anything Christian McCaffrey can't do, Jay?
No, can crack open an Ollie Pop with the best of them as well.
Yeah, 1,000%. Well, listen, Christian, obviously, I'm sure fantasy football comes up all the time in your life. People come up and tell you since you've come into the league, you've always been one of the first draft picks. You're always a first-round pick. So on behalf of fantasy managers everywhere, thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Myself, my fantasy managers, we've been through a lot together over these last 9 years. Yeah. But those who have stuck with me, I love you guys, and I appreciate you.
I have you on every single Dynasty team. I'm just saying. So I've stuck with you through 9 years.
Appreciate it.
Anyway, Christian McCaffrey, thank you so much. Thank you to Ollie Pop for giving us a few minutes of your time. Best of luck next season.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Our run of great running backs on the show continues as DeAndre Swift joins us. I like the headline of this, killing them swiftly.
Oh, wow.
Another 1,000-yard season in the books for DeAndre, who, you must say, comes bearing gifts on the show. Yeah, hold that up there, Matthew. Thank you, DeAndre.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, look at this. We got a Taylor Swift halftime show.
Yeah. Had to get
DQ
you right.
logo right there.
Going up on our Fantasy Football Happy Hour studio wall.
Absolutely.
DeAndre, awesome season in the books. Just what was it like playing under Ben Johnson, man? You guys were just rolling on offense week in and week out.
It was amazing. It was amazing, especially playing for Ben. Man, I can't say enough great things about him as a coach and as a person, just the impact that he has on us as players. And I feel like the city of Chicago felt that as well, man. It was a great year.
Yep. Now, Ben, great coach, great body as well, which America got to see.
You said great body?
Yeah, great body. Yeah. I mean, for an NFL coach, you certainly got to be top tier. Look at that.
He left. He be in the gym.
Yeah. I'm going to say, there's a lot of coaches in the NFL. I'm not sure they would do that.
No, I would not.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, what was when did it hit for you that he's like this? Because America did not know about this side.
Yeah. No, I knew he was like this when I was in Detroit with him. But just we was winning, man. We was stringing wings along, and then there's the energy and the emotion that comes in at the end of the game. We're in the locker room. I guess that's what he wanted to do.
Interesting. You know, it's interesting because it's so fascinating to watch your career, and I'm curious about Ben Johnson coaching you in Detroit versus Ben Johnson coaching you in Chicago, because I felt like when you were in Detroit, they used you much more as a pass catcher and as a third down back than a between the tackles guy. You go to Philadelphia, all you do is go between the tackles, and then this year finally, thank God, we got DeAndre Swift not only running between the tackles, but they finally used you in the passing game. I felt like this was one of the first times we got to see you as a complete back on a consistent basis.
Exactly, that's exactly how I felt as well. Especially being under, I'm so grateful that I was able to reunite with him, and that's somebody that's always believed in me. So I thank him for that. Just the opportunities that he was able to give me, the positions he was able to put me in, to go ahead and show my God-given ability, man. I thank him for that, and it was definitely a complete year for me as far as being able to do various amount of things and showcase a lot of stuff.
DeAndre, maybe the most iconic clutch season for a team that I can remember, just all these insane comeback wins, and the crowning moment, I guess, is Caleb, obviously, the touchdown to Cole Kmet against the Rams. Do you remember what was going through your head when he starts running backwards on that play?
Just throw the ball somewhere. I was on the field, and I ran my route, but I wasn't going to score where I was at. But I'm seeing him running, trying to extend the play, and he throw the ball. I'm looking at the ball, and I see Cole go ahead and separate and catch the ball. I'm like, oh, my God. Cardiac Bears, that's a fitting name for us for what we did this year.
We know how important it is to beat the Packers when you play in Chicago.
Yeah.
Are we in or are we out on the cheese grater hats?
We in.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. The rivalry, I feel like, between the fans and everything that was going on this year, it's great for the sport.
That's DJ Moore, I believe, with the
with the cheese grater hat. It's very big. It's a very big.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Very big. I want to go back to Caleb Williams here for a second, because at what point do you is it something you see in training camp, or just as the season went along, where you're just sort of like, where you go from oh no, don't do that, to it's going to work out?
It starts in OTAs, training camp. When we OTAs, you go 7-on-7. Everything's a little bit more dumbed down, but the risk that he takes is you got to live with it, you know what I mean? Because he extends plays, he makes things happen, and then we got the talented playmakers that catch the ball to go ahead and kind of complete it. So it gets greater as weeks go on. He makes a wild play every single week. I feel like just his growth from year 1 to year 2 that I've seen in him personally. I'm just proud of him in the way that he's going about his business. He's going to be a great quarterback for the future.
He's made some ridiculous throws this year where you're just like, well, there's no way wait, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so I can't imagine what it's like on the field seeing that.
For all the ridiculous throws, the identity of your team was running the ball, and everybody knew about you going into the season. I don't think everybody knew about Kyle Monungai. Mm-hmm. What was it like forming that little bit of new age thunder and lightning with him?
It was great. It was great, especially when you got a guy like him, a young guy that doesn't carry himself like such. Very mature in his approach, man. He makes the most of his opportunities when he's in there. We trust him as players and coaches to go out there and handle his business, which he does very, very well. So it was great.
Obviously, you play behind a great offensive line in Chicago. How did you see the growth of that line over the course of the season?
Phenomenal. They're my guys up front. We don't do anything without them. I mean, I go as they go. Them guys up front, man, I love them guys. The character, the great group. They play well together. It took us a couple weeks to go ahead and kind of get rolling. Once we did, man, we took off.
Hey, DeAndre, question for you. So we're a fantasy football show.
Yeah.
How often obviously you care about the Bears, you care about winning, you're trying to win the North and get to the Super Bowl. But I'm curious how often fantasy football comes up in your life. Do fans approach you about it? They talk to you about it?
Every day. If I check my phone and look at my DMs, it's every day.
Yeah.
You got family members here. I got you. What you got for me this week? Can you get me 2 touchdowns? Da. It's cool, man. It's a fun aspect to it. It can get a little bit much sometimes, but I understand it.
Have you ever played it before?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
So you tell me, you say some family members say they got you on your team. Do they complain at you when they're like, oh, why'd Kyle get the touchdown? Why didn't you get that?
Yes. What the coach is doing? They got their own little 2 cents every week, but it's fun.
That's awesome. Do you have a prediction for how the game goes on Sunday?
I don't. I can see it going both ways, to be honest with you. 2 great teams, very well coached teams as well. I think it'll be a defensive game, to be honest with you. Just want to see a great game.
Obviously, it's a game headlined by all the great running backs in it. What do you think of guys like Kenneth Walker, who's breaking out at the right time, and then we got to see a young guy in Travion Henderson on the other side with the older guy in Ramondre Stevenson?
I'd love to see it. I feel like the position now, the last couple of years, has continued to trend in the right direction, as it should. I don't understand why running backs have been devalued from the last couple of years. Like, you need us, you know what I mean? And then they don't just hand us the ball. Like, we have to be able to pass protect and then get thrown the ball in situations, then convert first downs and things like that. We do a lot of things that I feel like should be talked about more. But I'm excited for guys like Kenneth Walker and Ramondre Stevenson and Henderson. Been playing well all season. They're in the big one this coming up Sunday. So I'm looking forward to watching them guys go to work.
DeAndre, you're here thanks to your partnership with Dairy Queen. Thank you so much for this sweet shirt, by the way. And listen, I've spent a lot of money at Dairy Queen. I got 2 young girls, so we're at DQ quite often. But talk to me about the partnership with Dairy Queen.
You mentioned you're at Dairy Queen a lot, so I'm about to give you another reason to go back. We got the new party platter, new chicken strips coming out, flamethrower strips. It's a little bit spicy. If you don't like spicy, they got the DQ original for you. Also, we got a soft serve on the side as a dipping sauce.
Oh, let's go.
So that's something I feel like y'all should look forward to.
Yeah,
it's great for Sundays.
That's good that there's an alternative because Matthew can't handle the hate.
No, we got every option.
But Dairy Queen, I'll tell you, Dairy Queen's chicken strips are the truth. Make no mistake. They seriously, they are really good. Last thing for you, DeAndre, before we get you out of here. So our show, Happy Hour, it takes place in a bar, generally, when we're not on Radio Row. We play a lot of bar games. We do flip cup. We do beer pong. So we want to bring you in for a celebrity pong shot. Can you go ahead and stand up there at the end and let's see?
My elbow got to be back.
You know the rules. You know the rules. You got it.
I heard that's a rule.
Oh, he went for the bounce shot.
I like it. One more try.
One more.
Let's go. Let's go.
DeAndre Swift.
Well done. His magical year continues.
What an appearance.
Wow, the second attempt as well. The cardiac bears.
Yes, exactly. Clutch it. You can never count up the Bears until the last play. Absolutely.
Well, it really is. Another comeback win for the Chicago Bears and DeAndre Swift. It's been so fun having you on, man. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good luck with everything. Thanks so much.
Have a good week.
All right, as we continue here, guys, we look at the NFC Championship odds for next year already. The Seahawks. There's DeAndre's Bears, of course, on this list. A very tight field, Jay, as the NFC Championship favorites for early contenders next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly, you'd expect that the Rams, plus 500, that they're a good chance to go one better than they did against the Seahawks. But the thing that stands out is this is just a very flat field. And there's just a lot of teams. Like, would it be that shocking to see the Bears at 13-1 make the Super Bowl? No, absolutely not. The Commanders as well. That's something that leaps out to me. The fact that a team with Jaden Daniels is 30-1 to make the Super Bowl. The Cowboys, 17-1 if they can fix their defense a little bit. They have an offense that is Super Bowl caliber. So, yeah, a very flat field. And also, I think going to be a flat field in the AFC too.
NBC Sports Now is live from San Francisco all week with special guests. Tune in live from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time each day, Monday to Friday for the Dan Patrick Show. PFT Live, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, the Dan Lebitard Show. And, of course, watch us at the Happy Hour as we continue on with our usual nonsense, including some pretty impressive celebrity beer pong shots throughout the week. NBC Sports Now is a free 24/7 streaming channel. Full details, NBCSports.com/now. We're taking another break here. When we're back, Trevor Lawrence and Aaron Jones will be live on the set.
The Traveler.
It's legendary February at NBC and streaming on Peacock. Tomorrow, join the celebration as we kick off the Winter Olympics in Italy with the opening ceremony. And our plenty of great interviews continue as Trevor Lawrence stops by here. Yeah, we'll clap it up.
Yeah, we'll clap that.
Man, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
The Trevor.
We have to get this out of the way.
I'll get this out of the way. So our show, Fantasy Football Happy Hour, we are all our biggest fans are the regulars, right? Happy Hour, the regulars. And so for some reason, the name, the Trevor, the Trevor, that has been our nickname for you all season long. So I wanted to get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the Trevor.
We can can it.
It's the first half of your name with LAR, and you don't have to pretend to like it. Okay?
Right.
You don't have to pretend.
For
If you
whatever
don't like
reason,
it, just say you don't like it.
It's just become a dumb thing on our show where when somebody has a name, we've added LER to whatever. I'm the excuseler. And so we've just add LER to the end of every name. And so, yes.
It's unique. I've never heard of it
The Trevor.
Well,
Yes.
It's picking up steam.
Keep that one. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
That's
it's a
good.
dumb one. But do we have permission on the Trevor?
Of course.
All right,
we'll
there we
keep
go.
it rolling.
All right, there we go.
We'll keep rolling. Listen, you're coming off your best season as a pro. What was it like this year under Liam Cohen? Because you guys were just rolling. It felt like on a different capacity at some point.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Obviously it took a little bit of time. I think anytime you get a new system, I've been through it now a few times. This one was unique. Just the moving parts, the amount of time it takes to really get comfortable. But once you get there, it feels like you can play fast. I feel like as a quarterback, it gives you a lot of answers, which is a good feeling going out there on Sunday and knowing you have a good plan and you're prepared. So I think towards the middle of the season, it really started to click for our offense, especially in the passing game. We all got on the same page, me with the receivers, tight ends, running backs, all the guys. And you see us start to take off. We ran the ball well really all year, but it took a little bit of time for the passing game. Usually takes longer, and it was a lot of fun, and our staff did an awesome job.
Would you feel like, Trevor, that it really fully 100% clicked in for you up until about the final 6 weeks of the season? Because if you look there on your screen, the final 6 weeks of the season for you were unbelievable. You were the #1 quarterback in all of fantasy football. You obviously had a monster season, leading the Jaguars to the playoffs as well, which is I know what you care about as well. But this stretch from week 12 on was nothing short of fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's. I don't know exactly how.
It's not really a question there. I was just saying, not really a question. It was just more me telling you how great you are to your face. But
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
But I guess no. But further on that, because it's a new system for you, and you've been under a bunch of different offensive systems since you came into the NFL. So did you feel like, again, towards the second half, that's when Liam's system really fully clicked and you understood everything?
Yeah, and I think it's. In my position, you spend a lot of time in the offseason preparing and learning the system, so it's not that I didn't know the system. I felt confident as far as what we were doing, but I think seeing all the things and in real time, in the games, having those reps, those add up over time, and that's where you really feel confident. You see stuff before it happens, so you're making quicker decisions, you're seeing it faster. That's the comfort part, I guess. I always felt confident in what we were doing. I just think seeing it faster and faster, the more reps you get, that's really what started to click over the course of the season and really for our whole offense.
Yep. So you guys had a tough loss in London against the Rams, then you go into the bye week, and you go 9-1 after the bye, a lead offense. What specifically happened in that bye week? Was there anything that set you up for the second half of the season?
Leading up to that bye week, our season, we'd won a decent amount of games, so we weren't in a bad spot, but offensively, there was a lot of things that we needed to improve on. The details, some mistakes that were happening, some by me, or maybe receiver, O-line, a penalty here or there, just some critical errors by different people at different times. And I think we really looked ourselves in the mirror on that bye week. We're like, all right, guys, we gotta address the penalty problem, some of the mistakes. We really have to focus in and be more detailed. And I think guys really took that and ran with it, and were really professional and put a lot of work in to make sure that got fixed when we came back. And you see the improvement from then on. Every week it seems like we got better and better and better. And I think when guys see that and they say, all right, these extra things that we're doing, they're really making a difference, whether it's the walkthroughs or the extra reps after practice, and guys really bought into that, and it was a lot of fun.
We know what kind of mobility you have going all the way back to Clemson, but the career high 9 rushing touchdowns this year, is that something that was, kind of preached by the coaching staff of like, hey, take off more, or is that something you went into the season and been like, I'm healthy, I got to use my legs as much as I can?
Yeah, it was something, I got hurt last year in 24, and I think coming back from an injury, especially as a quarterback, it had been so long since I'd been in a live contact situation, and in the spring and in the offseason, you don't get any reps of it because you can't get hit. You're in a red jersey as a quarterback. You never get hit in practice. So I think early on the season, there was times where I'd watch the tape and I felt like I'm not quite as settled in the pocket as I'd like to be. You know, I didn't see the escape lanes as clearly as I wanted to. I wasn't seeing it great. You know, I wasn't moving in the pocket as good as I normally do in the past. So that was something I really worked on, and me and the coaches really worked on throughout the year to get better at. And we talked a lot about, hey, use your athleticism. You know, you can move. And it finally started to click more. I felt like I got back into my groove of just seeing it and playing. Like, of course, evaluating the concept down the field, but if there's a lane or if there's a rush getting home, I got to be able to escape and use my legs. And it really started to click, and I feel like I used it at the right times and not trying to do it too much. You can't chase those plays. They just kind of come naturally, and you got to feel the pocket.
Well, it definitely expanded the offense and, you know, obviously came in some clutch moments here. One thing I want to talk to you about a little bit is, you know, you see wide receivers get traded midseason all the time. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's tough for a wide receiver to come into a new system and develop a chemistry with a quarterback here. But it seemed like from moment one, Jakobi Meyers and you were on the same page.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what that trade did for this offense and what you see in Jakobi.
It did a lot. I mean, I can't say enough about him and the type of player he is and the guy and just the leadership, everything that he brought to our team when we really needed it. You know, as far as Travis Hunter going down, the receiver room kind of shuffled around a little bit. We had a lot of injuries just throughout the year where we had to make some changes. A lot of guys played, and for him to be able to come in and really be consistent right away. He picked up the offense super fast, which was impressive, and then he was such a reliable target for me, especially over the middle of the field. I mean, he catches everything, does everything right, made some big plays for us, and he blocks. You know, and that's the thing for a receiver that people don't realize, and it's you don't get fantasy points for it. But as far as our team,
it keeps you on the field.
Keeps you on the field, and as far as the team goes, guys see that and appreciate that when you're willing to block in the run game, and he's just willing to do whatever it takes. And I think that guys gravitate towards that, and really, it was a huge get for our offense.
Yeah, unfortunately, Trevor, we call him the Jacobler on our show.
Jacobler?
Yeah, so we got the Traveler, the Jacobler. It gets
Ask
progressively.
if we get permission on that one.
Yeah, it gets progressively worse and worse. Another kind of an unheralded guy, Parker Washington, came out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden, looks like he's the best player in football over the last month of the season. Like, how did you see his growth as the season evolved?
It's cool to see, just because I've been with Parker for 3 years now, and just the amount of work he puts in. He's such a hard worker, takes care of himself. He's prepared every day, and he hasn't always gotten the opportunities just because, you know, Christian Kirk was our slot for a few years. Me and him had a great relationship. Christian's a great player, and Parker had to come in and play for him a little bit when he went down with injuries, but still not in that starting role for an extended amount of time. And then this year, he was playing a little bit, played well when he got the opportunity, but still not a starter. And then, obviously, when Travis Hunter went down, he became our main slot receiver. So he got, I think, just knowing that he was going to get all those opportunities, and he played so well every game, prepared the right way, just ran with that opportunity. So I'm proud of him because he's put in the work, and he finally got his shot, and he took advantage of it. And I have a lot of trust in him. I think you saw throughout the season just the amount of times I threw some passes into tight windows. I trust him, and he goes and makes plays, run after the catch. I mean, he was huge for us.
You mentioned Travis Hunter. It felt like we saw the best of you guys, and then he got hurt for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from him this year? Because it feels like people forgot the kind of receiving talent alone that he is.
I mean, he's such a talented player, and I think you're right. People forgot that he's on our team just because he didn't get to finish the season, and it moves fast. There's a lot going on, and I think you look at the talent we have, just all the guys we have, and he wasn't even on the field the last half of the season, offense or defense, and he's such a weapon on both sides of the ball. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how much he plays both ways, and we'll have to figure all that stuff out. But there's no denying the talent he is, and you saw in that LA game, I feel like we finally started to click a little bit.
Yes.
So it is a bummer when he got hurt, but I do think he'll use it as a good thing for him, as far as just to be able to learn the back half of the season, take some pressure off of him, just hey, learn the system, get healthy, spend some time. He just had a baby as well. So I think in the end it'll be good for him, but it was definitely a bummer in the moment. And I mean, to have a guy that second overall pick you don't even have basically all season, and he's going to be healthy coming back next year, it's exciting for our team.
Do you want him on offense, which helps you, or do you want him on defense? Because listen, you're the quarterback of the overall of the team, and he can probably help out on that side of the ball too.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to come off the field, so he wants to play both ways. And you know, if there's a guy that can do it, it's him. I mean, he's in crazy shape. I mean, he's never seen a guy run like him just nonstop. I mean, it's impressive. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll play both ways. Who knows if he'll play one more than the other? Yeah, he's a great guy to throw to. He's a weapon for us. I want him to have the most impact possible for our team, because that means it's going to help us the most. So And I think he'd want that too. He wants to help our team the most he can. So we'll see where that lands. I think it's going to be a moving, it's going to be fluid, but we'll see.
Yeah. Probably on a week-to-week basis here. I want to ask about one other wide receiver here. After his rookie season, expectations were sky high for Brian Thomas. Kind of an up-and-down year last year. I was just curious about what you felt the difference was from year 1 to year 2 for BTJ, and then what you expect coming into year 3.
Yeah, I think it's a new system for everybody, and that can play a part in that. And then it's a new staff too, so he had a great year, and he was familiar with what we were doing last year, his rookie year, 2 years ago. And then we get a new system, and it's new coaches, and you're trying to figure it all out. And then we got some new players come in. We got Travis Hunter that's drafted. Yeah. Obviously, we ended up picking up Jacoby as well. Parker comes onto the scene. So there's a lot of moving parts, and you're trying to figure out who does what well, who's the best at this, and you're trying to get guys in the right position. So it's not always that first year. You might not always maximize your production, and that's just the reality of it. And I think it was cool to see how he responded to some adversity. He had such a great rookie year. Didn't go exactly the way he probably wanted it to last year, and he still was the same guy every day, came to work, didn't complain. There's a lot of guys that probably couldn't have handled that at the receiver position because guys want the ball. It's understandable, but I'm just proud of the way he worked. And I know he's going to bounce back, and he's dealing with a couple of injuries throughout the year too, and he played through a lot of stuff that people probably don't know about. So that guys go through a lot, and it's not always just a black and white, hey, this guy didn't have a good season. It's not that. I think he's going to have a great year this year.
Yeah, seemed like he got his swagger back a bit in the final month of the season.
For sure.
Some good moments. You guys played the Seahawks in the first half of the season. What are the challenges preparing for a Mike McDonald defense?
A lot of challenges. They're very sound. They create a third down. Their plan for third down is really good as far as the different looks they present you, the pressure looks. They come after you, but then you think they're coming after you, and they drop everybody into coverage.
Right.
They do a good job of scheming your protection stuff up, and then they have just really good players too. When you mix really good players with really good coaches, I think it usually works out pretty well. So they have their group up front is great. They're great against the run. They can rush the passer really across the board, inside, outside. It's a tough defense to block, to go against, and they create some chaos for your offense. So that was definitely one of the better defenses we played this year.
What did you think of your 30-year-old offensive coordinator being all over the coaching rumors this offseason? Because I think the national fan wasn't aware of him because he doesn't call plays, but I'm sure he does a lot behind the scenes. But it felt like there was a lot of hype around him.
Yeah, he does a lot. So I was watching it closely and just hoping that he didn't leave us.
Yeah.
I told him in our last meeting, we have a great relationship. I was talking to him, I was like, hey, don't leave us after 1 year. We're just getting started,
right.
So obviously I wish the best for him as far as if he were to get an opportunity that he wanted to take. You root for him to get that, but more joking, just wanting to have him around because he's super smart. He's unique. I've never been around a guy like him. The way he prepares, the amount of details that go into our meetings just in our quarterback room and what we talk about throughout the week, getting ready for our opponent, really impressive. And he's helped me a lot. He's taught me so much, and I'm excited to get another year, at least one more year of that with him.
Trevor, you're here thanks to your partnership with Zevo. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're here with Zevo, and it's a flying insect trap. Here, you plug it inside by the kitchen. It eliminates any fruit flies, mosquitoes, anything like that. So we living in Florida, we host a lot at our house. We're inside. Outside going back and forth, the door gets left open so bugs get in all the time. So it's really perfect for us to protect all our Super Bowl party snacks and everything that we got inside, all the food that's sitting out. It's great. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, thank you for the snacks as well.
Of course. I know you guys look like you need a little snack. So.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. I have two last questions for you, and we'll get you out of here. The first one is just, again, we're a fantasy football show. I'm curious, you only care, obviously, and rightfully so, about the Jaguars, getting the Jaguars to a Super Bowl, but I'm curious how often fantasy football comes up in your life. Do people approach you about it? Do they talk to you? Do they say, like, hey, I need you to throw it to Jacoby, or I need you to throw it to Parker. Hey, is Bretton Strange getting 5 targets today? Or, hey, I've got you on my fantasy team. I'm curious.
I get a lot of that, yeah.
Do you?
It's huge, obviously, like you guys are talking about it. I mean, it's cool because I think it's gotten a lot of people into the game that might not have been before. So I think there's a lot of good things about it. There's, of course, with anything, there's some negatives too. You get a lot of stuff that's like you said, I'm just trying to win games. I don't really care that much about.
Nor should you.
I wish I got more points for you. That probably meant I played better, but we won, so I'm happy with that. But it is cool. It gets people into the game. Some of my buddies that maybe didn't know a ton about the NFL. They started playing fantasy football, and now they're super into it.
Yeah.
They know everything that's going on. They follow the games. So I think that's the really positive side about it.
I always explain that, there's obviously a tremendous amount of Jaguars fans that are rooting for you guys, but the reason anyone knows who Bashal Tutin is because of fantasy football. Like, he was a big fantasy football sleeper and will be next year as well. So I think it adds more of a fan base to national,
Bashal shout out. Bashal's a stud. You guys keep your eye on him. He's great.
Well, we're excited to see what happens next year with Bashal Tutin. We're all big fans of him on the show. Last thing for us here is, again, our show's called Happy Hour. It takes place in a bar. We do a lot of bar games. We do flip cup, and we do beer pong. So Trevor, we'd like you to do our celebrity pong shot here, if you don't mind.
Huh?
You got one shot here. Stand up. You can stand up. Do it like a normal beer pong. I'm sure you played a little. I'm sure you played a little beer pong at Clemson in your day.
None.
Never. First time.
Let's go! There he goes. That is why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Of course, the quarterback
yes, of
nails
course.
it in one shot.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable appearance from Trevor Lawrence. We can't thank you enough, man. Thank you so much. Thank you to Zivo for having you come by, man. And we'll be taking one more break. When we're back, Aaron Jones will join us here on Radio Row. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook. It's time for last call. Although we're not finished up here yet at Radio Row. You're going to see an empty chair next to Jay. That will belong to Aaron Jones in just a couple of moments here. But some notable player props for Super Bowl 60. We are looking at longest completion, longest reception, longest rush. Jay, you always talk about the thrill of these.
Yes, you can live or die in a single play. The one that's interesting to me is Drake May, 33 and
Longest
a half.
rush?
No, longest pass.
Okay.
The idea that I think that he's going to have to buy a lot of time in the pocket, and then the Seahawks, they are pretty good at avoiding explosives. They obviously have a very good secondary overall, but you can get some of these corners on the outside. You can get Tariq Woolen, you can get Job, so I do wonder if Drake May is able to connect on one of those deep balls.
Yeah, I kind of like the longest rush, 13 and a half. Again, this is somebody who had, I believe, over 50 rushing yards in each of the playoff games. We think that offensive line has struggled, especially Will Campbell. If he's under pressure, he's going to have to run and scramble. And so 13 and a half, I feel like that's a number he can get to. And
going back to your point, Jay, about the pass, like if they're going to throw the ball down the field, it feels like Kayshon Boutte has to get some opportunities in man coverage. Seattle doesn't play a lot of man, so it'll be interesting to see how they go throughout this game. But I just don't think this is a game where, New England, credit to them, they find ways to win this way, but be so run and screen heavy. At some point, you're going to have to take a chance, and it feels like Kayshon Boutte would be the X factor on that offense.
Yep, definitely. We've seen that he can get a deep ball against anyone. He beat Derek Stingley into the end zone in the playoff game. I don't mind Ramondre Stevenson under 11 and a half as his longest rush. One facing maybe the best rushing defense in the NFL in Seattle, and then also, if you think that the Seahawks are going to win and they're 4.5-point favorites, perhaps they don't have a ton of opportunities to run the ball in the second half.
And there he is.
And there he is.
Aaron Jones joining us here on the Happy Hour. Good to see you, Aaron.
Hey, Matthew Bear, Aaron, man, good to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you.
Our great running back list here rolls on. We've had all the great running backs over the last 2 days here.
Glad to join the group.
Congrats on 10K scrimmage yards.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, are you aware of this list of people that you passed, including Earl Campbell, Jamal Charles,
heard of him,
Brian Westbrook,
heard of him,
Le'Veon Bell,
heard of him,
and Mark Ingram?
Oh yeah, heard of him.
What does it mean when you hear those names?
See, I didn't know all of that. That brings a little smile on my face. That's some. I guess that's some history. Those are some names that I grew up watching.
Right.
Especially Jamal Charles. That's kind of one of the guys like I loved growing up. I feel like our body frames are like similar, play style similar. He was faster than me, but no. So just to join those group of guys, and I feel like I'm setting myself up right where I want to be. Continue to do those things, and who knows? We'll look up, and hopefully one day I'm wearing a gold jacket.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Listen, these are the things that happen when you free Aaron Jones. So I don't know if you're aware of this, Aaron. So way back in the day, I used to do a podcast for ESPN.
Were you the one who started that?
I started hashtag free Aaron Jones.
Free Aaron Jones.
Hashtag free Aaron Jones. That was me. And I would MF Mike McCarthy all the time.
I got to give you a hug.
I am the one who started that. Hashtag free Aaron Jones. And I've been singing it forever and ever and ever because I was just like, why will Mike McCarthy not give the ball to Aaron Jones?
And it actually stuck, and
it did.
All the fans in Green Bay were using it. And I'm like, that's kind of like who started it. Now I'm like, thank you. It worked. It worked.
It worked. Afraid. And I say this all the time. These are the things that happen when you hashtag free Aaron Jones finally. Yes, I'm happy that you were able to finally get out from Mike McCarthy, and you were able to get a full workload, and America could see what we all saw. I never understood it because your rookie year, like every time you touched the ball,
it was electric.
It was 5, 7, 9 yards, and I would be like, why is this guy not getting more work? Anyway, yes, free Aaron Jones. It became a rallying cry for all of us and all the fans of the old show as well. But let's talk about Minnesota here and this offense last year. What were your? I'm curious. What was it like playing with Jordan Mason this year? The two of you guys felt like it was kind of a 1-2 punch.
It was a lot of fun. Just being able to pick his brain, ask him what he sees on certain plays. And just continue to grow together, and then him picking my brain as well. He was trying to learn some receiver stuff out of the backfield. So just being able to have each other and piggyback off of. I come off of the sideline on a run, and in the course, if you don't see the replay, you may happen so fast you're on to the next play. So I'll come off, hey, what did you see on that? Do you think there's anything else I could have done? And we'll give each other, both ways, we'll both give each other that feedback, and then just there for each other outside of ball too, just as being brothers, because it's life outside of ball too. So
Absolutely.
making sure you're mentally good.
Yeah, 100%. Up and down year for JJ McCarthy. Obviously dealt with injuries. How did you see his growth over the course of the season?
He just kept his head down, continued to work, kind of blocked out all the outside noise, and just he had. And I say young quarterbacks, they have to grow. It's hard for a quarterback just to come in right away and boom. You look across the Jordan Love. He came in and sat. Sam Darnold now he had time to develop, but they were trying to write him off at one point.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it takes some time. I normally say about 18, 19 games for a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Get comfortable, catch the flow of the game, all of that. So I feel like and you've seen it at the end of the year. Those last four, he came to play and he made a jump.
So for all the complaining about Mike McCarthy, we know your head coach, Kevin O'Connell, knew exactly how to use you. What makes him one of the best offensive minds in this league? Just
the way he can move guys around, find those mismatches. He knows exactly what he wants to do, kind of what look he's gonna get, and he's like, hey, this is the power of the play, and this is why we're doing it. He breaks it down to you so you know exactly what we're trying to accomplish while we're doing it, what coverage we're trying to be. Okay, and if it's not that coverage, this is how we can still survive the down and get out of this. Just so that, and then just how he can manipulate, like line me up out wide, bring me back in the backfield, then motion me back out wide, just to uncover a defense and seeing what they're giving you if they're in man. And then it also, Justin Jefferson, he's catching doubles as well. So it frees up other guys, and it's a fun offense to be a part of.
Aaron, you hit IR in week number 2, and you came back. You always come back. But my question is when did you feel like you were fully back to 100% Aaron Jones last year? Or did you?
No, I didn't feel like no, it was tough. I came back against Detroit, and that was the first time we played Detroit in Detroit. And that was the first game I came back. Like I felt like, okay, I'm finally over this hamstring, and I started off the game well, and I can't remember what I had, but I was like 78 yards in the first half, and then came out of halftime and got tackled weird, fell on my AC joint, and now I have like a little. I'm sure you can see this.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then I had some bone spurs on my big foot, and that all happened in the same play. Pushed me back even more. So it's to me, it's a matter of staying healthy, availability. The best ability is availability, but availability where you can produce as well. So just hit the off season hard, stack it, and it goes back to how you're taking care of your body, what you're doing, and set myself up for the biggest year yet.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to hear that. Well, it feels like this happened in a flash, but is the North the toughest division in football right now? It feels like everybody's a legitimate contender in this division. Ben Johnson going to the Bears. Obviously, you've been in Green Bay, so you know what that's all about.
I say yes, it is, but one of us got to get to a bowl.
Right.
Preferably us, but I would say us in the NFC West. Normally those two divisions are at the end of the year neck and neck. They're having to play to the end to see who's getting that first round, not first round, but first place in their division, things like that. So, but I do think the NFC North.
Yeah.
Even last year, we put 3 teams in the playoffs.
Right.
Arguably could have had 3 teams this year. If we'd have beat Chicago, we'd have been in.
Arguably could have had 4.
100%.
4 good teams in that division. You guys played the Seahawks in the second half of the season. What's it like going up against the Mike McDonald defense?
Those guys fly around. They're where they're supposed to be at all times. They're rarely making mistakes. They play as one unit, and then they have guys playing with their hair on fire. Guys retracing D-lineman, D-Law. He came back and I caught a screen and I chipped him first and kind of put him on the ground, catch the pass, and kind of going downfield, and he retraces and gets a big rake in and knocks the ball out. And it's just the way they play, and it's a never die attitude. Even though he was on the ground and he's about 5 yards back, I catch the ball, have to maneuver, cut, it slows you down, and he's right there to keep playing. So I got a lot of respect for them over there.
Aaron, we heard you're throwing a Super Bowl party. Can you tell us about it? Are we
yes,
invited?
Sir. So you got, of course you guys are invited.
Let's go.
So I launched my brand, lifestyle brand. It's called Showtime Worldwide. We launched November 14th. We have so the event is tomorrow. It's called the Showtime Bowl. It's from 4:30 to 8:30 at 1015 Folsom.
Okay.
We have G Herbo coming. He's doing a little performance.
Let's go.
And then there's open bar, hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Just showing my creative side to the world, and my art view, like how football meets fashion, well, sports world meets fashion and art, all cultivated together. It's something I started November 14th, and we had our first drop, and we just did our second drop January 30th. And it's funny, the name Show, that's my nickname, but it came about in high school. We were sitting there like gamer tags.
Yeah.
How can people know we're all together? So my brother was My Time, my best friend was Primetime, my cousin was It's Go Time. We all had TYME, but then I sat down and like, what does this mean to me? And to me, it's a mentality. No matter what you're doing, it's always showtime.
I appreciate that.
If you step into a meeting, when you walk into the door at home, you have those little kids. They want your best foot forward. It's showtime. So just that showtime mentality anything I'm doing and anywhere I go, and doing it with a genuine heart and love, and it'll be done the right way.
Well, yeah, Jay's nickname is No Time, by the way, just be clear. Listen, Aaron, we love you here on the show. You know, hashtag free Aaron Jones, continue to free Aaron Jones. Congratulations on 10,000. Good luck with it. We're off air now, so you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Aaron Jones, Jay Croucher, Connor Rogers, I'm Matthew Berry. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out.